Hello everyone, welcome to another update from the Avalanche ecosystem, another very special video today as I have Yuri from the Penguin Finance Turkey team here with me to talk a little bit more about Penguin Finance. Now, for me, I mean, Yuri, it's been almost a year since PeFi is here. Penguin just celebrated their first birthday, but PeFi is coming up, I think, end of March last year is when you launched. And I remember that was with, the Bear smart contracts. We did a whole video on that. That was fun times. Things have changed, so very curious as well to hear what has happened over the past year and what you still have in store. But first of all, maybe for the people who are not yet familiar with PeFi or yourself, would you please introduce yourself and Penguin Finance?
Hello, sure, Cedar, and thank you for having me again. I'm Yuri. I'm head of the Turkish community for the Penguin Finance, and I also help Penguin team in terms of marketing and business development. For the ones who don't know about the Penguin, Penguin is the trying to be the DeFi hub for Avalanche with different yield farming options, where you optimize your yield, and also have different staking options and gamified DeFi options, and also a fundraising with a launchpad, and also have some different NFTs coming out for the Penguin itself, also for the integration of them into DeFi and gamify. So, yeah, as you mentioned, it's been a really, really great year for us. And honestly, I learned a lot of a lot in terms of PeFi from you and from your videos. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, and I remember the times when we don't even have UI, it's just like a master chef contract, and we
Yeah.
have to interact it within the Explorer. So we developed a lot from that. Like without having a UI, we come from different UIs and having different dApps on building on it, from just one yield farming application to DeFi hub, where we have games. Like we have the first game on Avalanche blockchain, which is the Emperor, and also you have a video for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and we also have make the first launchpad in this ecosystem, and we developed a lot in terms of UI and UX and different innovative approaches, especially in your latest video, Intro to Penguin Finance, the updated one. Thank you for that awesome video, by the way.
Yeah.
So we introduced a new yield farming option to the Avalanche blockchain, which is what we call the layer 2 yield farming, where people get extra rewards and multiple rewards on top of the original LPs coming from the DEX and AMMs, like Pangolin, Joe, and Lydia. They will also earn PeFi, iPeFi, and our latest incentive program that we participated, like we got the incentives from the Ava Labs. We got the Avalanche Rush
Yeah.
incentives. We also distribute some AVAX rewards to the Penguins and Avalanche ecosystem users also. And we already in the phase 3 of it, and we are distributing the incentives within different igloos, and we introduced a turbo phase for it, where we give explosive APRs in a limited time, therefore giving much better income to the users.
Yeah. And just for like the people at home, the igloos, of course, are the farms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what I love about PeFi is that it really went. The branding is so good. Like I remember ever from when you didn't even have a UI yet, having the penguin. What's his name? Cubis, right?
Cubis, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Just having like Cubis like on social media and like fan art for it, and it's really evolved. Like it's stuck around that iglo part. I love that. Makes it sometimes a bit harder for I think someone coming in completely new to read the UI. But I think as soon as you click on the buttons, it's okay. And for those who don't understand it, of course, there is the video. You've already talked about it a little bit, but like for last year, the past year, I'm curious what your like highlights are, what are like the best moments of the past year, and maybe also if there's any like more down moments.
Like for me, the highlights were when we introduced the Emperor, because we introduced the first game on Avalanche, and it was a really good launch of the the application where we get really cool engagements within the community. Most of the people liked it, and it was a really interactive game, and it also shows the strength of the Avalanche blockchain. You know, like it's fast, it's cheap to use, and it's decentralized, so it's run smoothly within all of the things without even creating a problem. So when I see the Emperor, I see that there will be a huge potential within the games in the Avalanche blockchain. So it's a really great, one of the greatest moments that I witnessed last year, this year. So the other, I think, is for me is the birth of our launchpad for like starting with the Sherpa Cache, and where we have much more broader community for PeFi, and people come here to as a just a launchpad participants, and they never leave. They continue to be the holders of PeFi, and this is a really great moment for me too, because within our mechanics, I think I see the importance of decentralized fundraising. It is a really great opportunity. It was a really great moment for the PeFi also. And I'm talking chronologically, by the way. So the other greatest thing is that we getting the Avalanche Rush incentives, both Igloos and for the Emperor. That's why I'm that's why we are also developing the Emperor further to making it much better to have these incentives distributed to the community also. And within the Avalanche Rush incentives, we had the chance to go to a broader community, give more incentives to the people for the yield farming, and introduce what Penguin can do in terms of multiple rewards, in terms of yield farming innovative technologies that we already built within a unique way. So it's a really great. It was a really great moment when we get the incentives, and I was really excited what's coming next for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and right now the things that I'm really excited about is Puffies and the Emperor 2.0. So Crypto Puffies is an NFT series that we are building, and the minting is gonna happen soon, within the 15th of February.
Yeah.
And these NFTs will be like a unique and random puffy families, and which will have like a different utilities, like social utilities, in-game utilities, DeFi utilities, and I will explain a bit.
Yeah, please, because it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, so puffies are not just images, and puffies have different utilities. Let me explain a bit. Like, for example, we had many partners throughout the way when we building the puffies, and we also give puffies a different traits and different specs when we are creating them. So we have two different approaches for giving utility to puffies. So first one is in terms of the design. So we gave puffies a different stats, you know, like the attack, defense, or other stuff. Mm-hmm. So these stats will be ready once we run our arena game on the Penguin, which is also another in development game and waiting for the Chainlink VRF to be on the mainnet for the Avalanche ecosystem. Once the arena is ready, puffies can be also used in that way for the gamify. And the other use case is in the Emperor. As you remember, in the Emperor, we had a character customization part where we select different costumes and other stuff. So at the beginning, when the Emperor 2.0 releases, puffies can be used as a cosmetics or skins. However, we have we have much more things coming for the puffies in terms of using use cases in the Emperor also, Emperor 2.0 also. And for the DeFi utility, we will have igloos for the puffies which makes Puffies stakeable, and you can earn different yields throughout that igloo. And what's been announced, it will also have the Avalanche Rush incentives, so it will be the first NFTs that have that yield also.
Great, awesome.
Yeah.
And personal question: do honorary puffies count? Can they be used?
I have to ask this, but
It's probably unfair. No, I'll
yeah.
get my normal ones.
Yeah, but
It-
we also, yeah.
it's funny though, because I remember back in March I first talked with Frostbite, and I know you talked about your highlights, but my highlight was really like the start when we did those only the smart contracts, and I was talking to Frostbite, and we did that stuff. And Frostbite also showed me like the plan for like Penguin Finance, and it's already had the arena and the NFTs in there. So it's also really exciting to hear that like finally with Chainlink VRF like it's becoming feasible. It's been a plan that's in the works for a long time, and I think that's something people may not know unless they have like the inside. But it's been like planned for a while. It was always kind of planned to be a part of Penguin Finance, and that's why it's so cool to still see it come to fruition in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Like it is not decided in a one day or trying to be built in a one day. It's been in like a development for a long time, and we have been thinking in terms of everything for the every aspect, because we want to bring innovation to this ecosystem and bring unique solutions and mechanisms to the ecosystem, as we already did within our different dApps. So like we are looking for different game mechanics and different play to earn mechanics also, and how we're gonna implement the rush incentives in the Emperor, and how we're gonna manage to have a great mechanics to distribute and make it playable for everyone. Yeah, and so we have been searching and developing for a long time, and I'm really excited about what's gonna happen next for our games.
Absolutely. And you've hinted at this a little bit in our private conversation. You said puffies will be live on the 15th. How do people get them, and is there any special things they can do to increase their chances?
So we already have some snapshots for the whitelisting, for the Cassandra the IDO participants, and before the snapshot in the January, 26th of January, I think. Before that snapshot, if you have 500 and plus IPFi or joined the IDO, you already get a whitelist. But also there are some different ways to earn whitelist. So like what? Like being in the giveaways, or making participating and winning the art contest in the Puffies Discord. So let's announce another way to get the whitelist. So we can tease it in here, I think. So there will be also a giveaway conducted by us and you. 5 lucky winners of this giveaway will get chance to attend the pre-sale of Puffies with the whitelists. So dear Penguins and Avalanche users, please make sure to join this giveaway with us and Cedarnet.
Just keep an eye on the socials. The whitelist participants also have, rather than just being whitelisted, I think, are they also cheaper? Was that another advantage?
There is also discount, like 0.25 AVAX discount for the whitelist penguins.
As long as the market stops tanking, that will be a relevant amount.
Yeah.
Great. Do you want to talk more about Emperor 2.0 or?
Yeah. So Emperor 2.0, in terms of the development perspective, it is much sooner when we compare it with the Arena, because Arena needs some other developments which is independent from the Penguin team also. So Emperor 2.0, why we are renewing the Emperor and naming it Emperor 2.0? Because we really want to make a new mechanisms into the Emperor. As you know, Emperor had some previous mechanics, like you play, and if you're in the top 5, you get to share in your jackpot. However, like we need more things to incentivize people to play, if like even though they are not in the top 5, like a play to earn kind of a thing. And we are looking forward it to much more interactive in terms of gaming experiences. So with different skills, new skills, and a better use cases of NFTs within that game also, and a distribution of rewards which makes people to play even more, which is the play to earn mechanics. So we were working on that, and we were working on different things to like cosmetics and other stuff, and the play to earn mechanics as I mentioned. So it will be a much more interactive experience when compared to the previous one, and it will have play to earn mechanics, which the previous version didn't have. And this will increase the Emperor's use cases and other stuff. And also, as you remember, Emperor was not a really regular basis game. It was just like we announce Emperor starts and Emperor stops, but it's not a really regular basis. So we are also planning to make it much more regular this time and automatic.
Yeah, sounds awesome. You said more cosmetics, right? Is that just the puffies, or is there like other kinds of cosmetics you're thinking of? Sorry, I'm a big cosmetics guy.
yeah. So it won't be just puffies. It will also be like penguin collectibles from the IDO participants.
Yeah.
And also people will have different costumes from the partners. Remember, like we have Sasquatch from the customization. Yeah. So it will also have different kind of stuff and costumes coming up, and the design will be updated because the penguins designs also changed. So and there will be much more cosmetics, and we will be bringing new options as we build further.
Amazing. And then more incentives for people to play, and it's going to happen more often. So hopefully people will find a chance to try it out. I have a video up on Emperor.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it will still be fair. Probably the core mechanic will be the same. Probably a lot of things will have changed by the time 2.0 goes live as well.
Yeah, like the main mechanic is the bidding and being on the throne. However, like the bidding and amounts may change. Like we just want to be much more like a faster game and interactive game where everyone can participate regardless of the time interval. Like if you are late, it's not late for you to jump in, So we want to we don't want to have any high barriers for entry. So we are also gonna change a little bit about the bidding and the numbers, but the core mechanics, as you mentioned, are still the same. And like some of the skills like steal the crown and poison will be there, but also we will introduce different skills while we are building.
Awesome. And I guess not, but the puffies, like they will not get like custom skills, right?
Right now, at the beginning, I can't really say something, but we have many great things coming up for puffies and their use cases in our games for sure. Like that's why we have different traits for the puffies, and that's why we have different stats for the puffies.
That's what I heard. I mean, of course, that ties into arena maybe more primarily, but I was thinking,
Yeah.
Cool. Nice little nugget of alpha, maybe.
Yeah.
And nothing, no worries.
Okay. And for like, it's good to talk about the puffies because I remember something. Like we also have different partnerships for the puffies. So puffies can be usable in the different games in the Avalanche ecosystem. We already have announced the partnerships with the Avax stars. They can be used in the slot system for increasing the chances of the success within the quest. And it will also be in a Kyra Network's social media. Puffies will also have a social utility like a crate turn. So we have different partnerships and much more in the pipeline. They will be announced. So not just like Puffies are not just going to be used in the Penguin ecosystem, like the Penguin platform. It will be also usable in different projects and platforms on the Avalanche ecosystem.
Sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
Um, can you make? I mean, I know this is not a topic I had in my list, but I'm just a little bit triggered by the word partnerships now. Of course, Penguin Finance has always kind of worked on top of Trader Joe, Pangolin, and I think I think Yieldjack at some point at least had your farms. I'm not sure if they do right now actually, or Snowball.
With Snowball and Yildiak, you're asking?
Yeah.
We are partners with Snowball, but like we don't have any official announcement with a partnership with Yildiak.
Yeah. I was just wondering, like, I'm sorry, I was just thinking out loud. But the question that I wanted to come to is like, you mentioned some partnerships, and you've also worked on top of other protocols. Like, what is the kind of the philosophy about that? Like, how do you, what is your like, how do you see your or Penguin Finance's place in the ecosystem, and like how does it fit together with other protocols?
So like it's really parallel with my vision about the ecosystem. That's why I really love to be working with Penguin, and that's why I'm here. So like I think the Avalanche ecosystem is a really great ecosystem where the organic and mutual growth happens, you know. And as Penguins, our vision also is like has some core values like decentralization and mutual and organic growth and users. So like we would like that. So in terms of our partnerships, we have like a thing where we partner with what can grow this ecosystem and how we can grow this ecosystem further with an organic way and the innovative way while keeping the decentralization core values. So we when we partner with some projects, we always keep an eye on these things that I mentioned. So our partners share our visions and innovative approaches, and we all defend the same core values for this ecosystem to grow further and together. So these are the aspects.
It's a beautiful note, really.
Thank you.
On that note, though, I'm out of my pre-written down questions. But I think one thing that's always good to conclude with before we get to your closing thoughts is like, how can people get involved with Penguin Finance? Where can they learn more? Stuff like that.
They can learn within our documentations, which is also shown in our website, penguinfinance.org.
I will link it in the description as well.
Okay. And they can get involved within the Penguin. Everything is all indicated within the website. Throughout, they can involve in Penguin within the different options like yield farming. And when we have IDOs, they can also participate in the launchpad. They can stake their PeFi. They can play games when they're ready. And they can do stuff like that. And everything is being described within different infographics and documentation which we all have in the Gitbook and the Medium with the articles.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Then I think maybe that's a great moment to close the video. I remember a year ago, well, exactly a year ago, PeFi didn't really exist yet, but almost a year ago, we launched with the smart contracts. Really good moment, though. I think the community was really strong at that point. Really, good moment to come together. Now, almost a year later, we're seeing kind of a completion of like the initial plan I saw back at that time. So I'm really excited. Yuri, any closing thoughts for yourself before we close out the video and say goodbye?
So, firstly, I want to thank you again for having me in here and for this interview. And I agree with you. Like, it's really exciting to see things getting like having a close to the like completion. Like the things that we want to build, we aim to build. Most of them are happening and will happen in a really close time, and we will have much more to come. And so it's really exciting, and I'm really honored to be a part of this team and part of this ecosystem to see the exponential development and growth and many great things building on top of that. So once again, thank you for having me, and that's all I can say for the closure.
Awesome. No, I think that's some great thoughts. So everyone at home, thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it to the end. Keep an eye out on the socials, especially if you're interested in puffies. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one, and goodbye.